community, the YouTube community, all set up. How are you all doing tonight? How are you all doing tonight? It's Thursday, one more day on the rat race. It's Thursday. Welcome, welcome here. Welcome, welcome, welcome here. Let me know where you're connecting from, by the way, and we get to start. Can we just power share one more time so that we can get everyone here? Everyone here. Sorry, my lips are dry, so we'll talk about it because tonight it's all about building wealth. California, awesome. I hope everyone is staying safe. We hear about the drone and all of that that they are threatening. You know, please take shelter, safety first. We love you all. I am in Texas, by the way, so let me know where you're connecting from. Sonzo, thank you always for being a part of this community. And thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for tapping out the live. The goal, if you can get to 10,000 for those, and this is TT community. J4, you are back. You missed it earlier in the afternoon. Now you're back. Now you're back. And you might be wondering, why am I doing this? Is it for the money? Is it for yeah, I'm building a brand, absolutely, because there's Money Talk with Dr. Lina across all the platforms, right? But at the same time, the main goal for me is to build, to help as many people. I have been there to become a millionaire status, to get to that millionaire status, to let you know that being a millionaire is, they are not, millionaires are not from another planet, right? You can do it. I've done it. I'm doing it. You can do it. And is almost, it requires work, okay? But you just need to understand what it requires. So 2036, I want to have a community. This community, actually, we should be all millionaires. That's the goal, starting from 2026. So by 2036, the goal is that we are millionaires, okay? All millionaires, because we're going to be talking about the strategy. Stephanie, welcome. Welcome. Okay? All right, all right. Tonight we're talking about owners versus earners. That's what we're talking about tonight. And for the YT community, if you're just joining, thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following. Thank you for sharing the live. And of course, thank you all for tapping out the live. If you can get it to 10,000 tonight, let's get it to 1,000. That would be great. Good energy. Welcome. Awesome. Let's go straight into it. So I want us to talk about one thing that is very, very important. Why are high earners like six-figure salary? Why is it that high earners, why are they broke? And when I say broke, it simply means that you are earning income, you're earning six-figure salary. But then what happens? What happens? Come on. What happens with your six-figure salary? Thank you, love.
You have to.
So when you, with your six-figure salary, you realize that, let's assume something happens with your job. Okay, we pray it never happens, but it happens, right? Are you able to pay your bills for another 3 months? Are you able to pay? How long can you pay your bills for? Your mortgage, your rent, your basic needs that keep you alive. How long can you pay it for? Can you, is it 1 month? Is it 2 months? Or you don't even have anything in safety net? But do you know that is real life? Real life. There was the lady, I was watching a video, and she did say that she has a set of twins, and this, and they make, as a couple, they make 270,000. This is real life. 270,000. That's a decent amount of money, and fantastically, she has an amazing spouse that asked her the question that, okay, with this 250,000, a family of four, how much? Let's assume that this 270,000 does not, we don't have it tomorrow because something happens. What's going to happen? How long can we pay for our bills? And that's the same question I want to put to you today. How long can you pay your bills? Can you pay your car notes? Can you pay your mortgage or your rent? Can you still get your groceries done? Or do you need credit card to be able to take care of your utilities, even after 1 month? If that's your situation, then you have to change. It simply means that you are broke. I don't want to mince the word because it simply means it's your income. That income alone, that income is what feeds your lifestyle. You don't have any safety net. And that is the main reason why high earners are broke. And I always say something, talk about motivation, inspiration, but it's reality. We're talking about people's life. I own and manage six double-digit real estate portfolio. For the first time, 3 years, for the first time of me, building real estate portfolio and doing all of that. Last year, I had three evictions for the first time. I have never had an eviction since that time. But guess what? These people were good, decent people with good income. They've been there 3 years, 2 years, 4 years. They never owed a rent one day. But guess what? They lost their job. Some of them lost their job. And that was it for them. They could not pay their rent for 1 month. And of course, because it's always also a business on my own part. The bank will not tell you that, oh, because your tenant lost a job or they cannot pay because of that. It's Gigi, welcome. Because of that, they are not going to, collect their mortgage. The bank is still going to collect their mortgage every single month. What happens? We get the sheriff, they get out, and they are the cop. All right. Now, what does this simply mean? Some of them, I heard of one that was working in IBM for 25 years or 23 years thereabout, but in 2 months is not able to fund the bills. But guess what? This person was able to take care of the house was when they say that the house was he almost built it like his own, right? So what does this mean? It means that the person did not have a safety. Thank you, love. The person did not have a safety net. He was not prepared, and that's what we want to talk about today. Okay, ensuring that we have a plan. Okay, we have a plan. And when I say high income earners, some of them are earning 300,000. Remember, it's about how much you keep. It's not about how much you earn. Earning is here, and that we're not going to go to earners versus owners. We're going to go to earners versus owners, right? Right here. Earners are when you earn something, right? And your income is here, your expense is here. The difference here is what separates you from the person that lost a job and is unable to pay the bills. Because if you have a safety net, if your income is here and your expense is here, even if you're earning $500,000, what is going to happen is you will not have anything. It means that you need to continue to be on the hamster wheels, continue to do that job. That job will better be there for you to be able to build it. I mean, for you to be able to fund this bill. Because let's assume something happened. Remember, Dr. Prophet, welcome. Justin, welcome. Vicky, all of you that is here, right? Everyone that is here. So think Memoy Ford, Medoski. What that means is that if your income is not there tomorrow, it simply means that your expenses is still there and you can't take care of it. And that's number one thing that is keeping the high earners broke. Okay, so lifestyle inflation is number one. What is lifetime inflation? You get a salary increase or you get a change in the job, but guess what? You also increase your bills, right? Remember, it's about how much you keep. You increase your bill. Lifestyle inflation is number one. That keeps the earners. It keeps them broke. Okay, that's number one. Two is competition. We cannot delay the gratification because you've seen your friend. Your friend is making money. Your friend is driving a Mercedes or your friend is driving an Escalade. You think that okay, you know what? Because now you've started earning six figures, you want to start doing the same thing, or you want to go buy a big house. I don't have a problem with you buying a house or whatever, but make sure that you already have a safety net such that you are not struggling. You are not house poor. Okay, what does house poor means? You just you went ahead and bought a house using using what you were approved for, because you were approved for 600,000. You went ahead and bought a house of 590,000, but in the real sense, your mortgage or your income can only finance maybe a 400,000 house or a 350,000 house, and then you are struggling. You are living in the house, but you're not at peace. And I tell you something, whenever you get to that six-figure mark, it's almost like the floodgate of heaven opens. It's as if you have arrived. But the reality, in real sense, what's happening is that you are almost set up for failure, because at that point you realize that, and sorry, sorry, but no sorry, but a lot of times that's when a lot of times you see that you get credit cards. Everybody wants to give you credit cards. Who has experienced that here? You really need to get a six-figure job. They want to, in my own case, I got the black card. The black card was sent to me. I qualified for Sapphire. All of the banks, they wanted me. because you have a good credit, and of course they see that you can pay it, and then they give you all of those opportunities. But if you are not careful, it's just like a child that is put on the steering wheels of a fast, or they put me on a Ferrari. I'm going to mismanage it, and that's one of the biggest reasons why our earners don't be they're broke. Now, having said that, you'll be like, okay, so enough of, yes, we understand that. Um, we understand that, yes, our earners, this happens. So how do you fix it? That's what leads us to today's topic: owners versus earners. Owners versus earners. You want to endeavor, okay, to build wealth. You have to endeavor to move from being an earner, okay, and don't beat yourself to it. Don't say that, oh, you're not doing well. I'm now 50 years old. I wish I knew earlier. Those are things that I hear, right? I wish I knew all those things earlier, but now it's too late. No, it's never too late. Thank you for sharing the lights. Let's power share one more time. If you can share the live, and let us tap out the let's keep tapping the screen. That would be great, so that we can get some more people to learn this, especially a lot of my professionals, a lot of my high income earners, right? A lot of them, we all need to hear this. And it's not anybody's fault. Seriously, it's not anybody's fault, because we were not taught this in school. Let me know in your comment if you were taught this in school, that, because we were taught how to get a skill, how to earn. Yes, we were taught that, but nobody taught us how to build wealth. Because two different things. How do we build wealth is different from how to earn. We were taught how to earn. So you becoming a surgeon, you becoming a lawyer, you becoming a tax expert, or becoming a teacher, you were taught that in school, so that you can keep earning and use it to fund your bills. That's what it does. But then this is what keeps everybody on a hamster wheels. That's that thing that's keeping you from, maybe being on a private island tomorrow. But guess what? You still have to show up at work tomorrow. That's what keeps you, because you're just earning, right? And you're using it to pay the bills. Understand that earning, right? Your salary is just funding bills. That's what it is. However, to be able to build wealth, okay, to be able to build wealth and become an owner, the owner is the person that owns the company. So your CEO, not your CEO, the person that owns the company that you are in, that you are working for, that person is the owner. And trust me, that person will be much wealthier, will be at least 10 times wealthier than the highest paid employee, meaning the CEO. So if the CEO is earning 2 million, the owner of that company, trust me, is the earning 20 million. That's it. So should you not just aim to now become the owner, because you spend more time, the same effort that you're spending to earn, should you spend the same time? And I'm not saying quit your job. That's not what I'm saying. I am just saying that here you are taking some of this money and you are investing it, taking some of this money, put some of it towards your lifestyle, then put some of it towards investing. Okay? Put some of it towards investing. And where do you invest? And I know I'm going to lose some people here, because people would say, I don't even know how to invest. It's too late for me to invest. It's too, investment is risky. Those are things that are always here. But you need to think about, if you want to continue to do this to 65, or you want to take almost a minimal risk to invest in something that's going to pay you for the rest of your life and even live beyond you. All right. I am not even talking about you investing in something that it's difficult or whatever. It's just also in the stock market. You're also investing in real estate. Those are two things that I always talk about. But first of all, it starts with your income. Cooking with them, welcome. And every other person that is here, welcome. Thank you all for sharing. So think, memoy, yeah. So having your income, when you have your income, taking that income, using it to invest, putting it in simple ETF. Welcome let me know where you're connecting from on YouTube. Let me know where you're connecting from. If you have your income, you take 50% of it. And there's a reason why I say 50%. Even if you don't have 50%, let your aim be 50%. Okay? And put it towards investing. Thank you for sharing the life. Thank you for sharing the life. We're talking about something very important here. From Connecticut, David Amao, welcome. Uh, so we can I can't bring anybody up right now until we have the question and answer. Thank you all for subscribing. Thank you for the follow, and thank you for sharing and liking and all of that. Okay, so take the money and put. And we're talking about earning versus being an earner over being an owner, right? Being an earner, being an owner. Okay, so let's even talk about the difference. Being an owner, it means that, just to keep it simple, ownership simply means your employer. That job that you're going to clock in at 8 o'clock tomorrow, right? That is the person that owns the company doesn't have to even show up at that work. But guess what? Is earning at least 10 times more than the person that even 10 times somebody, the highest paid, so the CEO of the company, the owner is earning at least 10 times. Okay, and guess what? It does not have to be there. Okay, but on the end, on the other end, has to show up. If he doesn't show up, he doesn't get paid. That is the difference. So, what should you do? It shows that being an owner, you definitely will make more money. You're going to build lasting wealth. The owner is going to can take that business at the end of the day, give it his own children or his unborn children, and like that, generations to come, it continues like that. That is a business, right? In business, if it's real estate, the owner can actually take that property. Somebody keeps paying the rent for so many years. I mean, and then after that time, the person, it gives it to his children, and like that, like that, like that, it gets to third, fourth, fifth generation. So where should we be? Thank you for subscribing in the YouTube channel. Thank you so much, and feel free to stop me if you have any question. So for here, I always say that save at least 50% of your income. If you cannot afford 50%, that's fine. But let it be your goal. So what does this mean? It means that, let's assume that you know that your expenses is high. Look at your statement for the next past 60 days. Think about, when you do an audit of your statement, where is your money going? Understand where your salary, your expenses on your statement of account. Where does it go? Thank you for sharing the life. Thank you for the lights. Where does it go? If you see it, you probably see some of it, like, okay, some of them are your basic need, rent or rent or mortgage, your utilities, okay, your utilities, your groceries, and transportation. Those are the basic needs. Those are one you can color code it as green. Every other thing you now need to audit it. To like, okay, those subscriptions, do you need it? Do you need Netflix, Hulu? At the same time, you have Apple TV, Amazon, and you still have the basic TV. Okay, do you need that? Are you spending? What are you spending on? What are you spending on lunch? You're eating out. All of those. What are you doing with that? Just go back in retrospect, because you might be thinking that, okay, there's no way I can ever do 50%. I did a post today, and I said that if you put 225,000, you invest so that I can motivate and blow our mind, and you can actually go look for that 50%. Let me tell you, if you just put 225,000, starting from, you start putting it from age 20 to age 30, right? By age 30, you put 200, you are able to save 225,000, which sounds like a lot, right? But you put it in an investment, you put it in S&P 500, generating 10%, right? And you don't touch it till retirement, you have over $4 million. $4 million. That is how ownership is being made. That is how wealth is being built. But guess what? You'll be like, okay, 225 is a lot of money, but that's 225 divided by 10 years. That it means that that's 22,500. 22,500 every single year. So you think that, oh, is a lot, but that is 18,075 every single month. Every single month. But guess what? Your lunch every single day is about $20. But you can make that lunch every day. That is $600 out of the 1,875 that you need. Okay? You have some subscription that you are using. Some of them you can cancel them. So I can conveniently tell you things that can actually bring $1,000 out of whatever lifestyle that you have right now, the same income, the same the same income. It's just that the same your expenses is what we are just going to audit, and we can bring out $1,000. And guess what? With $1,000, I can tell you that within the space of 30, the space of the 20 to 30, or if you are much older, if you put that, you can even you don't even you if you cannot do 4 million, you can do 2 million. You can do just start somewhere. If you cannot do 1875, do 1,000. If you can't do 1,000, do the maximum that you need to max out your Roth IRA, which is 625 for a 7,500 maxing a year. And that is how you become an owner. Because guess what? You get to become independent. And that's what is going to happen. You are able to work because you just want to work. It's not because you have to work. Because they're two different things. Having to work versus not having to work. And then and I'll give you another instance. That's one strategy. Putting the money, every single month, and you put it in an S&P 500. S&P 500 is just a basket of, like a bouquet of different stocks inside one basket. Like the Amazon that you like a lot, like the Apple, because you buy Apple every new Apple phone, you have it. You are upgrading every single. But guess what? You can be using the money to invest every single month, every single year, instead of you buying a new iPhone. There's nothing wrong with your existing iPhone. They just change the body or whatever. Nothing, keep it for another 3 years or 4 years, but take the money and use it towards investing. All those are always change your mindset from being a consumer. For every time you want to consume, think about how you can own. Change your mindset from being a consumer to an owner. So if right now you go to Sam's Club or you go to Costco, think about, yes, I love Costco, but then how can I invest in Costco? How can I own a piece of Costco? All right. If you like Apple phone, you want to change Apple phone how can I improve? How can I buy part of be an owner of Apple? If you also like Starbucks, you like Starbucks, that Starbucks, how can you invest in Starbucks instead of you taking a consumer? Super Kiddo, welcome. How are you? David Amato from Connecticut, how are you? Right? We're talking about ownership versus earner. Okay? So those are ways, those are strategies. You just had a question. Go ahead. What's your question? What are ways that you can become move from an earner to an owner? Understanding it's being an owner that will help you build wealth. How do you save money? Simple. Good question, Super Kiddo. And by the way, TikTok community, I do have the YouTube community on the other side as well. So in case you hear me answer questions. So Kiddo says, how do you save? Okay, two ways. Number one, you're looking at your income, right? And then you look at your expenses. Go and revisit your bank statement for the last 60 days. Look at everything that is there. You're basically focusing on your housing, which is your rent or mortgage, your feeding allowance. Yeah, so absolutely, so thank you so much for being here. Your rent, your housing, your mortgage, your groceries, your car, your transportation. Those are the things. Thank you for sharing the life. Those are those four things. Anything outside of that, think about, is it a need or is it a want? Right? That's when you do that audit. Then you keep the other ways that you increase your salary or whatever, or keep it as it is. Every single month, every paycheck, make sure that set up an account in such a way that they make direct deduction from your account, and it goes into that savings every month, right? And think about put it in an IU savings account. IU savings account is just your normal bank. It's just that it's not like the Bank of America that is returning that is giving you 0.01%. It's their normal banks that they give you 3 to 5%. So a Capital One gives you 3.3%. A Vero give you 5%. What's this other one? So if I give you 4%, or you can simply Google and search what are the top 10, the best IU savings account in 2026, March 2026, and just look at it there. If you put 10,000, what that means is that you get $500 every year, but they pay you every single month. When they pay you, let's assume that, yeah, oh yeah, okay. Then that's how you do it. Whatever savings, put it in an IE savings account. If you cannot put it, when you then take some of it and put it towards investing. Put it in simple ETFs like S&P 500. Just put it there and let it go. If you start putting, if you are able to save, let's assume you put 225,000, for 10 years. Like that's a lot of money. I understand. That's going to be, you're going to have $4 million in retirement, over 4 million. That's the power of compounding, and that is how wealth is made. Okay, and if you start putting $500, or you start putting it every single month, you are consistent. Consistency is key. Automation will help you, and then most importantly is discipline. Do not let don't let anything, don't let peer pressure, do not let lifestyle inflation, just do your own thing and follow your lane. Because you realize that one thing that I always say is that there's something called delayed gratification. This is the wealth triangle. What we were taught in school, you take your salary, you've gotten your skill, you're earning 200,000, you're earning 50,000, whatever income you're earning, and they tell us, yes, you need to fund the lifestyle, you deserve the car, you deserve the big house, and then that's what you do. You continue to work, and then you continue to remain here. It's just like a clockwork, and you continue to do it till age 30 and to age 60, 65. People are still working, because guess what? There might not be social security at our own time. So don't even bank on it, and don't think your children will be your retirement plan. So guess what? Some people are still 67, they're still working. All right. So you take your so what are you going to do differently to become an owner? Change from being an owner to somebody that earns. I mean, from being an earner to somebody that owns. What do you own? Assets, something that will put your money and then it generates income from you for you. What does this mean? Put it in something, it brings money. So a car is not an asset except you use it for business. A car that you buy, it depreciates in value. It takes money from you. You are going to fix its maintenance. But if you use it to buy a house, okay, or you buy simple ETF, you realize that you are building wealth. Okay, because if you put it in simple S&P 500, what you realize is that you would be getting, let's assume you put 10,000 last year, you would have gotten 2,000. Your money would have moved from 10,000 to 12,000 this year. That's what it would have been. And then just imagine if it's 100,000. The rule of 72 says it takes you 7 years to double your money. 7 years is all that it takes you to double your money. So it means that, let's assume that you put 100,000 in year seven, your money will become 200. It becomes 200,000, but it gets better. At year 14, that's compound interest for you. At year 14, it becomes what? It becomes 400,000. Not, it's not going to be, because now it's 200,000 times two at year 14. It becomes it becomes 400,000. By year 21, which is 7 years after, guess what it becomes? It becomes 800,000. Guess what? How much you put? 100,000. That's what you put. By year 28, okay, which is the fourth cycle, your money is the what? 1.6 million. And that's how wealth is built. And guess what? We're saying that, oh, it's so difficult to become a millionaire. And the 100,000 that we are talking about, that if you also want to think about it, you want to put it in 10 years. 10 years, that's $10,000 every single, let's even say that you're saving 10 years from age 10 to age 20 to age 30, for instance, and you start putting it together, 10,000 every single month, every single year. That's less than how much? That is less than $1,000 every single month that you are putting away, which some of us spend more than that on lunch. Lunch alone, some people spend $20, and then by the time they buy the Starbucks every morning, that's already $25 to $30 they spend every single day. $30 times 30, $30 times 30 days, that's $900. That's all that you need, and that's 100,000. Remember, 100,000. So if you put that 100,000 with the rule of 72, which is tested and proven, it's not me, I did not create it. You can check it yourself. Rule of 72. That means your 100,000. You can by the year 28. So let's assume you put 100,000 from year 20, your age 20 to 30, then plus 28 years. Okay, that's when you become 58. Retirement, you can start getting your money at 59 and a half, right? So it means that if you don't put anything after 30 years, it simply means that you are going to have close to like 1.6 million. And then you're still wondering, that's how wealth is built. That is how wealth is built. And then there's also the Didi, welcome. There's also the part. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for tapping out the live. And thank you for sharing the live. And thank you for subscribing if you haven't, right? Thank you all for subscribing. So we're talking about earners to being owners. Ownership would help you to build wealth. Earners, your salary, paycheck, call it whatever, will help you to pay bills. Okay, I, your earning, your salary, your paycheck help you to pay bills, but you need to take some of it to start investing in assets, solid assets that is going to help you build wealth. In this community, 50% is what you put towards that. If you cannot, start working towards it. Let it be your goal. Okay, let it be your goal, such that by the time you get to, and you start putting, let's, the 100,000, you get 1.6 million. If you do not even put anything, nothing more after age 30, that's 1.6 million. By the time you're at age 58, that's it. And that is why they call compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. And you're wondering, so how do I get this started? Just open a Fidelity, a Schwab's, or a Fidelity, Schwab's, or what's it called? Vanguard, any of those three. Just open any of those three and open your Roth IRA if you qualify for it, right? And open a brokerage account. The Roth IRA will help you grow your money tax free because it's deducted, it's taxed at the source. So it's gross tax free. So let's assume just in the illustration that we had before, where you are putting money, if your money gets to 1.6 million, there is no Uncle Sam cannot touch it. You get your 1.6 million and then you can enjoy your life. But then, like I said, that one is for the future, just like the 401k. But you also have the brokerage that you open. That one is for today because you can get the money out without penalties. Is your money, right? Instead of you putting it in a bank, letting it sit there, you put it in simple ETFs, right? Just put it in simple in another brokerage account, Fidelity, Schwab, or you can open Robinhood. Just put it every single month. Take Repurpose your money. It could be that lunch money, it could be that coffee thing. Use that money. Is that subscription that you are now canceling and you think that you now know that you only need one subscription is enough? Put that money towards investing. Thank you so much for the like. Thank you for tapping out the live and thank you for sharing. You put that money towards investing. And guess what? Like I said, what we were talking about earlier, 10,000 a year. 10,000 a year, that's even less than, that's like 800, right? $800. $800, that's all that you need to have your 1.6 million. And you are going to enjoy your future. And then you now have the brokerage firm. Put some of it because the Roth IRA, all you have to put, you can only put 7,500, which is about $623. But the remaining, or if you can put more, put it towards the brokerage. Then you are putting it towards today. You want to go on vacation. I like good things. I've been to 22 countries. So I will not tell you to not to enjoy your life. But guess what? It is not your salary. It's not your earnings. It's not your time. If you watch my latest shots that I just put in or my video that you just see, you would see where I put it. It is your time, your life. That's initial capital, that money that you are getting. Treat it nicely. Treat it nicely. It's not something that because it's your life that you cannot get back. The 8 hours that you have spent on your job today, you cannot get it. Today is March the 12th. March the 12th, 2026 is gone forever. Whatever time I spent working, somebody has given me money for it. I've traded my life for money. So shouldn't I, whatever I got from that, my life that has been traded, shouldn't I treat it nicely? You put it, what I do, and I tell you, I tell you exactly what I do because it becomes very, very when I see people, it gets worrisome, right? Take the money and you put it towards investing. Let's even do, even if you cannot do 1,000, do 500. If you can't do 500, 200. But guess what? Aim towards being higher. Then put it in ETFs. So when you open those accounts, like I said, make sure you let automation do the job. Let it automate. Okay. Set it up such that they are deducting it every paycheck. So you are not seeing it. It's already deducted. So you don't even have the money, right? You don't have it. And then and then you also in your investment account set it to be recurring. I personally buy three, but I will tell you four, right? I buy S&P 500, like a VOO, or IVV, or SCH, or the third one SPY. Any of those three, they all track the S&P 500, the top 500 company in the United States. That's what it tracks. It's returned between 8 to 12% for the past 30 years, averagely. Last year, it returned 18%. Okay, just put it there. You can decide to, that's one place I put my money. And all of them, they are the same thing. They're almost the same thing. It's just the brokerage firm, the fee structure might be different, but they return almost the same thing. The SPY is by State Street, VOO is by Vanguard, and then IVV. What's that one? Is that one BlackRock or something? They track the same top 500 companies. That's one. The second where I put my money is QQQ, NASDAQ 100, technology. I'm a vice president of technology. That's my day job. And of course, I'm also a doctor, the doctor of business and technology. So I also lecture. I teach young people in the college AI, cybersecurity, deep learning, and all of those kind of things, right? So I know technology is here. Technology is future. A lot of people are losing their jobs to AI, right? They're losing. Olivia, welcome, welcome. Justin, welcome. Michelle, thank you all for sharing the life. Thank you for tapping out the life. So you realize that people are. So I put money in technology as well. Nasdaq 100, QQQ. I put some, but that one fluctuates because, of course, the risk, the higher the return. It was 18 to 20. It's been 18 to 22% averagely, with that. And the third one where I put my money is SCHD. SCHD is simply SCHD is for dividends. It gives you cash flow. All these ones, if you need to sell them to get your money out. But with SCHD, you get dividends. You get some form of ownership from the company. So profit sharing, something of that nature. And you have companies like Johnson and Johnson. You have companies like Johnson and Johnson, like a Procter and Gamble. I worked in Procter and Gamble for 8 years. So these are companies that have paid over. They have paid dividends for the past 100 years consistently, non-stop. So you get some cash flow from there. And then the last one that I always it's REIT. ETFs for REITs. Okay, real estate. That's the ETF for real estate. Because you also want to diversify. You might be wondering, okay, so why all these things? Diversification is key. So that if one sector is down, the other sector is high. Because remember, you are buying ETF, you are not buying individual stocks. You are buying baskets of funds, right? So with all these ones that I've said right now, you have literally bought 800 companies. Even with your $100, you can invest five. Let's say you put $40 in a VOO, $40. You put $20 in QQQ. You put another $20 in SCHD. Then you put $10 in REITs. You are basically invested in how many because this is 100 plus 500. That is um that is 900 companies that you've invested in just with your $100. And that's it. That's how you. When they ask Warren Buffett, Warren Buffett is the owner of Hathaway, right? One of is worth $1.5 billion. He's very wealthy, right? When they ask him, how do you invest? He says simple ETF and index funds. If you go on Google right now, you search where does the multi-millionaire, not millionaires, multi-millionaires and the billionaires, where did they put their money? What you will find, number one is simple ETF and index funds. And number two will be real estate and every other thing, venture capital, business, all of those ones come after. Shanti Ice, welcome, welcome. Olivia, welcome here. How are you doing tonight? So, having said that, REIT is the third one, the fourth one where you can put your money. Just even with your $100. Hi, Shanti. It's always a pleasure having you. So that's the other place where you can put your money, right? Which is REIT. I don't do REIT because I'm very heavy on traditional real estate property. The real traditional. So I have homes and I put tenants there. Because that even helps to build wealth faster, right? Of course, I have the ETF or the first three. But if you are just starting, you're a beginner investor because you want to start it now, you never knew about it, you are going to open your account tonight. You're saying that, okay, where should you start? Just start with those four. Just start with those four. Just start simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't pick and choose. And don't, most importantly, don't think of timing the market. Focus on your time in the market. Set it and forget it. Because your Roth IRA, let's assume you put in Roth IRA, you are getting it at 59 and a half. So why are you worried that the stock market is down? Because you always win. You will always win. The VOO that I bought at 300 and was it 230, 280 something. VOO today is at 600 and sorry, which for? Okay. So today this VOO is at 650. It's 615. It's doubled this money 3 years or 2 years. And the same thing, with others as well that will give you dividend. Why we've already established, just focus on the rule of 72. Your money will double every 7 years. It will double. Just put it in, and this is average of even the 10 years S&P 500. We are not even talking about the QQQ. So the four is number one, um, S&P 500. This could be VOO, SPY, or VOO, SPY, or IVV. Those are the three that I always, and they're almost the same thing. It's just that the brokerage firm, they just have their own different S&P 500. One, SPY is State Street. VOO is Vanguard. IVV, I think that's BlackRock. I need to confirm that, but all of them has pretty done well. The fee structure might be different. Like this one might be like, okay, 0.01. This one might be 0.02, but they've returned almost the same thing decently, right? They've returned between 8 to 12% for the past 30 years. And you can check it yourself. Always say trust but verify. Check it yourself. I'm not your financial advisor, but I'm just telling you what I do. And it has worked for me. It's helped me become a millionaire. And I am just sharing, basically. All right. So having said that, then the second part of it is the second one is QQQ. That's the second one. Is Nasdaq 100. It's returned between 18 to 22%. This one is a little bit more risky, right? Because it's tech. So of course, whenever in risk, when they're talking risk categorization, they tell you the higher the risk, the higher the return. Okay, so the return is higher, but so is the risk. So that's why I always that's the two. Then number three is SCHD. That's for dividends, right? You're getting cash flow. So the fact that you own that company, you're doing profit sharing. So you still have the stock, but it's not, you're getting profit. And the last one is REIT. REIT is for real estate. ETF for real estate. So you have some of it in real estate. The other ones that I'm already thinking, because of the unrest between in the Gulf region and the whatever is going on right now, and for my people in California, hope everything is well, because whatever we're hearing is very disturbing, and my prayers that with those in the Gulf region, right? So with that, I'm also thinking of maybe having an ETF in oil, just so whenever when the people are fearful, right? That's when you go. That's when you are running towards it because you might be able to get some discount. So just buy. If I want to put money, maybe just put a little, you know, in the old fraction of my $100. Maybe I'll put $2. Just so I just say for the sake of it. And then the other one I was also thinking about is ETF on Bitcoin, right? That's one other one that somebody brought up, right? Because of course Bitcoin is low right now. I've been investing in Bitcoin when it was like 13,000, buying it as buying $5, buying $10, $15 years ago. I started buying, So even though it's low right now, and it went all the way to $120, right? So, but I will limit it to, if I'm buying at all, maybe Bitcoin, like Bitcoin. That's it. So, or ETF for cryptos, whatever, if there's anything, yeah. And the last one was on gold, ETF for gold. But all of this, let's assume I have $100. You see this other four that I talk about. Uh, my real estate, I can put maybe like $4, right? Then I put $2 on the gold, put dollars on Bitcoin, put $2 on petrol, something of that nature. But the ones that have been solid, that I know that has returned consistently, that have been solid for so many years, I'll put like the SCHD, the QQ, SCHD, QQQ, and like the VOSPY or whatever, S&P 500. I'll put more into that. Okay, okay, that is the way I would do it, because guess what? I'm spreading my risk. I am trying. I'm not a high risk person. That's why I'm not doing options trade. I have lost money. I've lost over 100. I've lost close to 100,000 in the stock market, buying penny stocks, doing day trading, and of course doing. I did a little bit of option. Right, my friend lost 50,000. That one is actual whole amount. 50,000 to Tesla trade, options trading within 1 week, right? So that's why here we talk. This is not about get rich quick scheme. So whenever we are talking about ownership, right? Ownership and earning. That's why I don't want anybody. I'm not here to say, okay, you get your money quickly. No, 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 no. If we're going to be here with, that's why I say that 10 years is what will take us to build, become a millionaire in this community. I am not saying 5 years, I'm not saying 2 years. I'm saying 5 years if you follow the principle. But the first thing, the starting point is your income. I'm not going to deceive anyone to say, oh, you know what, there's a very quick way. Choosing one car. Thank you so much for the likes. Thank you for sharing the like. I'm not going to deceive anyone to say, oh, there's a very fast route for you to get. No, that's, if anybody tells you that, they just, I mean, there are easy other ways. If you have a business idea and it gets out there, that's a fantastic. But for easy way, steady way, you don't need to think about anything. This is just that strategy. But it starts with your income and what you do with it. So I always say that try, and if you don't even have it today, let your goal be you at least start with you are earning a six figure. How can you do that? Because I talk about four pillars of building wealth. I talk about four pillars of building wealth, right? Number one is your income. So except you got inheritance, or you're a trust kid, or you won a jackpot in Las Vegas and you made money, which by the way, most of them never keep it, right? Maybe you accept that your income, your wealth always starts with your income. So I always say that if you can, try everything you can to start with it, to get a six-figure salary. So let's say you are not getting a six-figure salary. Let your goal be that. Set a goal for yourself. And how do you achieve this? You can achieve this by two things. Think about getting an additional skill. I'm not saying go back to college. Just get a certification. Remember, employers employers pay for your employers pay for they don't pay for degree, they pay for the skill. So that's what they pay for. It's not about the degree. I personally increased my income by 30,000. Like, hey, Mabel, you're not so late, Mabel. You're not so late. You always catch up. Now we're talking about the four pillars of wealth creation. Before we were talking about earners to owners, but you would always, I always have a way of repeating things, and it always comes together one way or the other. But welcome tonight, and thank you for joining me. And for everyone on the YouTube community, thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for the follow. And thank you for all for tapping out the live and sharing. Okay. So your income is the first thing. That's the first step, right? I was able to increase my income by simply taking a certification. So I was in corporate finance in Procter and Gamble, and I realized that I was working more hours than my counterparts that were doing the technology aspect, and they were earning more than me. And for me, I was like, no, hell no, I'm not going to work as an elephant and eat like an ant. No, it's not working. Even the Bible doesn't allow that. So what did I do? I said, okay, how can I become them? Work like less hours and make more money. So I went and I got a certification, and I did get. I did actually. I went for multiple. I did get certification on Isaka. You can go and check it, and it literally cost, maybe everything was less than, maybe it was 400 or 365 or something dollars, what it is, and that's it. Studied for it. Ebinako, welcome. That's how I did it. Sat for the exam, certification, boom, got another job. Moved from Procter and Gamble, and I moved to oil and gas. Right, just by that, I did not go and take. It was less than 1,000 for me to get $30,000. What? That's an amazing return on investment. Now I do, at the point I started doing less job, right? Less job, more money. That's where we want to be. So always aim to for a six figure and above, right? And above. That's one way, getting a skill. And the other ways, there are even free ways right now, right? You can go on Coursera. Coursera, you can learn AI and all of those things for free or for cheap, where you learn it, but you will have to only pay for the certificate. That's it, for free. You can go on Ivor Business School. There are free AI trainings. There are free other trainings that are there. I know in nursing, I know some nurses, they do 1 year class. I know that one might be a little bit more expensive, but you don't have to go to one expensive university or whatever. Go if you want to be in a medical line. So those are, you can go and make it cheap. Go to community college, right? Go to community colleges and just improve your skill, but always make sure that you're not focusing on something expensive. Do not take college loans. No. Now, when you now have this, that's one way of increasing your income. No, by improving your skills and then shoot up your income through that. The other way is for you to supplement your income. So, for instance, right now you're earning 80,000, but you want to get to six figure. What are the other things that you can do? Do you have time on the weekend and you can drive 5 hours of Uber, right? Or can you rent an apartment and use it on rental arbitrage? Use it for Airbnb, right? Or can you use your car? You have a car, can you put it on Toro, where you can rent it out to people and you're getting money through that? But you know that that money is strictly for investing. I know people, some of my clients, that's what I tell them. I said, okay, you don't have enough money to, this is your target. If you want 5 million or you want 3 million at this point, this is this is how much you need to put together to be able to get to that amount by this time, right? You want to retire at 52, but then you think that, okay, how do you do but right now you're at 35. It means that you have to 50. So it means that for the next 15 years, how much do you need to save? But okay, your salary, you already have an expense in your salary is not, then supplement your income. Look for other ways to supplement your income, to increase your income. But guess what? Keep your bills still the same. Mr. Gregory, that's one of our community members he has retired at 52. Can you imagine? 52, he retired. Well done, sir. Anytime I see you, I salute you because you've done well. There was another person retiring at 53. Amazing, amazing. That's a beautiful life. They are just, if they decided to say that, you know what, it's okay. We are done with this hamster. We are done with this rat race. You know, but you don't even have to quit. You can just say that you know that you are working just for the sake of, you want to work, not because you have to work to pay bills. It's that thing that gives you financial peace. So that's number one, your skill. So when you have that six figures, it's even going to be better if it's going to be after tax at 100,000, like six figure, right? 100,000. Then you put 50,000 towards your lifestyle. Then the remaining 50,000 is what you use towards assets. And you'll be like, this is the part that I hate you, Dr. Lina. Yes, it's okay to hate me, but in 10 years you would love me. I'm here with you, my dear friend. Thank you. It's a bit, yeah, but you're educating every one of us because you have lived the life that I'm talking about right now. I am still a vice president of technology. I am still doing the work, right? Because I am just working because I want to, right? But kudos to people that have taken, maybe in another few years as well, or months, or, because right now I'm also on sabbatical and taking some time off as well, before I go think of whatever I'm doing, but just giving back right now. All right. So having said that, you're taking some money. So yes, thank you so much for the light. So and thank you all. If you can get this to 5,000 tonight, that would be great. Let's tap it out. And if you haven't gotten your daily admin, consider doing that. It's one coin. Do that. I think you just need to click something right there, and you will be able to get your daily admin. It just helps this life, and of course, you can claim it back. I think up there, Money Talk with Dr. Lina, you can claim it back. All right, claim the point. All right, having said that, you take your skill set, you take 50% of it, you're taking it towards what? You're taking it towards savings. You're taking it, and when you saving alone, understand that saving alone is not going to help you build wealth. It's not. But you're taking that 50%, you're taking some of it, you're putting it towards your emergency fund. 4 month, expenses for your 1 month. 1 month, the goal is to grow it to 3 months to 6 months. It means that if there's no income tomorrow, you can still take care of yourself. You can, Otis, welcome. Okay, you can still take care of yourself. That's what it means. You can still take care of your bills, even if you are not, even if you don't have an income tomorrow. I mean, we don't pray for that, but it happens. It's the reality. Just think about it. All right, so you have some of it go into an IE savings account. An IE savings account returns 3 to 5%. Okay, Capital One 3.3%, Vero 5%, um SoFi 4%. Open it online today. And as your paycheck is coming in tomorrow, you are basically using the money towards your start putting some of it towards your emergency fund as a safety net. Most especially in these times that we are in, with so many unrest, you want to have as much stock up for yourself and your family in a case of an emergency. Okay, we hear of drone in California and all of that. So all of those reasons, not to put fear, but it's reality. Okay, so you put some in an IU savings account, returning 3 to 5%, or even 5.5%, versus Bank of America that gives you 0.01%. All right. Having said that, and thank you all for sharing the live. Thank you so much for all of the likes. Thank you for following. Thank you for subscribing to the channel for the YouTube community. And okay, so having said that, the second thing so once you have that money, you put some of them in an I savings account. If you have high credit debts, so high credit debt, so you have like or high debts, high debts, right? Yeah, debts that high interest debts. That's the word. High interest debts that are like anything above 10%. So your credit card that you're owing, you want to pay that one first because you don't have a business in investing. Because the next step that we're saying right now is investing. You don't have any business in investing until you, all those high interest debt of 27%, you don't have any business in investing. Go take care of that first. Then you come back to investing. Shantias, thank you so much for the likes. Now, when we take that, then the second thing that I talk about, right, is smart investing. And all of this is my second pillar: your emergency fund, your high interest, they're paying it off. And of course, your main thing is now the smart investing, because these two are the prerequisite for you to go into smart investing. Smart investing is what we talked about simple ETFs. Why did I say this? You don't have any reason to pick and choose because you're not God. You don't know what tomorrow is going to be with this company. There can be a scandal with the CEO of the company, and because of that, the companies fell. One of the companies I worked for 3 years, that have been around for 100 years, literally folded up last year, right? Literally folded 2 years ago, went bankrupt. JC Penny. I mean, so many companies going bankrupt, you know, that we never believed. So that's why I will, instead of me picking and choosing, do you have time for me to come in to speak to your followers? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Just send an invite, and hopefully it would allow us today. Hopefully, let's see. Okay, I sent you an invite. I'll send you an invite. Awesome. And Mr. Gregory is part of this community, retiring at 52. That's absolutely amazing. That's one of the. I sent you an invite. So put it in simple ETF. Spread your risk across board. One company versus 500, one company versus 900 companies. You can decide to say that you are even buying the entire stock market, right? In one simple ETF. You're just using one account. So how do you do that? Just open a Vanguard, Fidelity, or Schwab's, any of those three, or even Robinhood. Just open it. Have your Roth IRA open. If you have 401k, or if you don't have it, check with your employer if they are going to be matching any amount, 3%, 5%, any amount they are matching. Make sure you are taking that free money, put it to that amount. Then secondly, fund your Roth IRA to the, if you can do 7,500, fantastic, because it grows tax free. But if you cannot, do whatever you can. That's the second thing. Then the third is have some on brokerage, because those two are for your retirement, they are for your future. But I don't know why. Let's see. Let's see. Could it be that is your account on private, Mr. Gregory? Is your account on private? Maybe that's the reason. I don't know. But I sent you an invite. I honestly don't know why this is happening. And every other person is able to join. So we have that. And put it in an IUC, put it in simple ETFs. And the last one that I always talk about is real estate. Real estate pays you in four different. Remember, we talked about rule of 72 with investing, smart investing, rule of 72 at 10% return. Your money doubles every 7 years. With real estate, it pays you in four different ways. That's the benefit of real estate. You pays you through cash flow. You get equity, okay, using somebody else's money, using the tenant's money to pay the bank. You are getting. I have tried several times to. I don't know. I'm not sure about having a private. I honestly don't know. It's still. Are you able to join in other people's life? Can you try that? Maybe in other people's life. If you're able to join, it just doesn't. I don't know why. It feels. Yeah, let me see again. Let me try here from here. I just invited you again. All right, so you put it in. That's the then real estate pays you in equity using other people's money, right? You get that, and then of course you have appreciation. Property doubles every 10 years, and then lastly, tax benefit. If you earn, especially you said we are aiming for six figures, the tax benefit is going to be beneficial for all of us, because the tax benefit, you can use real estate. When you have real estate, whatever your interest, right? Interest is at 7%, is none of your business. The property taxes, the I think the only one that is not there is HOA. The house is damaged, something happened, you have to do repairs, that cost. All of those expenses, everything, roll it up and take it and use it against your W-2. You are supposed to return, you're supposed to pay back Uncle Sam the $10,000 or $20,000, but you made a loss of $25 on real estate from depreciation, from property taxes, from interest, and all of that. It means that now Uncle Sam is going to owe you 5,000. Remember, you're supposed to pay him 20,000, but guess what? Because you had a loss of 25,000 here, Uncle Sam will pay you 5,000 back. That is 25,000 free money to you that you can use for your next property. So that is how wealth is built, and that's why I keep saying that as an earner, the earner is going to pay 20,000 to Uncle Sam, but the owner is going to be paid. Uncle Sam is going to be the one to pay him. That is how wealth is built. That is why it just makes sense for you to be an owner, right? You can fall in the two category. Use your earning, use it to fund your ownership. Okay, and then on the other end is I talk about my other pillar that I talk about. Remember, it's four pillars. My other pillar, I call it the financial fortress. Number one, I talk financial discipline. It's discipline that is going to carry you through this journey, because it's only discipline and delayed gratification that is going to make you be able to save 50% of your income, or whatever percentage of your income, and not be disturbed by peer pressure because somebody is buying things, you want to go and do the same thing. Okay, So the financial discipline, the other thing that I talk about is financial literacy. Get education, which is what we're doing right now. Buy a book, get books, read, and get education about financial literacy. We were not taught in school. So I personally I buy books. I invest a lot in books, right? And spend some of my time, cooling off, watching on Netflix and doing all of those shows. But I also take time reading. If you don't want to read, get audiobooks and read. Because remember, you work so hard for the money. You traded your life for money. So shouldn't you get enough education to treat that money that is replacing your life? Shouldn't you treat it nicely? Shouldn't you get all the education that you need to back that money to make sure that you do it successfully? So that's the other way that you look at it. When you start thinking about money, change your mindset as money is your time. Time is money. Money is time. Okay? You have worked how many hours today? They gave you money. Shouldn't you that time you can never get it back again? It's gone. March 12th, 2026, it's gone, never to be returned. But guess what? You could have been on an island. But guess what? You are in front of a computer, or you are working, building your construction and doing all of those things for 8 hours today. So that money that they gave you, and you should watch the video that I put up where I had $200 and I said this is somebody's life for 10 hours. And some people just on a sitting, some people spend $200. They use it to buy things that are not needed. 10 hours of your life. 10 whole hours of your life. That's what you use. Anytime you are spending that money on things that you do not need, no, is your life that you are just spending and throwing away. Just imagine somebody taking you and putting you in the dump. Let's for 10 hours, putting you in the dump. That's what you just literally do. Like we put you in the dump for 10 hours. That's what happens whenever you use your money the wrong way. Think about it that way. But what should you do differently? Be disciplined with your money. Get education. The other thing is that plan your money. Have something for your future. Stop you thinking that your children will be your retirement plan or for your tomorrow. Stop thinking that social security. You're waiting on social security that might not be there. Think of all of those things. Have your insurance, have life insurance, have trust in place. You have built wealth. So these are for the people that have already built it. Let's start thinking of how you have trust. God forbid if anything happens, which is not enough. Absolutely. It's definitely not anything. It's not even about enough. It might not even be there. That's the thing. Let's be realistic. We need to believe in ourselves. Each and every one of us work hard and put forth so much effort to work. Yeah. Yes, that's it. So that's the reason why you should plan, have life insurance, right? Have trust in place. God forbid if anything happens to you today, what's going to and this is for thought provoking for some of us that have built asset, right? What happens? Is your property going to go to probate, or where is it going to go to? Right? Do you all of those things? It's what you have built. You have built multi-million, right? You have done well, investing, you've done all of that. Trust, yes. IUL, that's what I'm looking into. IUL is the other thing that I want to look into, those trust and all of those things. Retirement, do you have your 401k? Do you have your 401k? And really, it's not anybody's fault because, see, this is the part of our life. My son was asking me, oh, that's great. My son was asking me a question. He's a teenager, and he said, "Mommy, why is it that all those things that you're saying we are not being taught in school?" And I said, what do you think? He said, the only thing I can think is that it's almost like a sabotage. Because if they teach us all those things, because you make it sound really, really easy, work for someone else and make them wealthy. Can't we put the same effort to make our own business? Absolutely. That's it. And you don't even think too much. 225,000 from 820 to 830, 225,000. That's 22,500. That's 1,875 every single month, right? For 10 years, don't put anything again. Till retirement, guess what? You have over $4 million. Over over $4 million is what you're going to have. That's, you are not even thinking, you don't, you're not creative about business, you are not doing anything, you are not doing laundromat, you are not buying, you are not doing anything. That's how you become a millionaire. But guess what? It's the mindset they've already put it, and I don't even blame anyone. Yeah, I don't even blame anyone for, for what's it called, for not knowing this, because we were not taught in school. And when asked my son, I said, "So why do you think, just talking, why do you think it's not being taught in school?" And he said, "I think it's because if everybody knows it, like you say." Because I was saying that, okay, you know what? I just actually opened his Roth IRA today, because I said, if you start putting money there, you start putting $100 every single month, you know that you're going to have a million, right? And he said, IUL has been here and found out after I got chronically sick. Wow. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope all goes well with you, Rita. I hope all goes well. It's yeah, because I know that with the IUL, they even say there's something called accident. I'm looking into it actually, because I always don't talk about things that I don't know. Because one thing I hear about IUL is that, you need to have somebody that knows it, structure it well. Because if they don't structure it well, then it can be a mess, right? So I want to do it and learn it, and then I will bring it to the community, because definitely trust, and insurance and all of those, life insurance is something that I'm not talking about right now. So planning is very, very important. No, planning is very key. And lastly, all this thing together is what brings financial freedom. All of this is what brings financial freedom. And that's where we want to be. Work because you want to work, not because you have to work to pay bills. Understand one thing, that salary is for, you're using it to pay bills. But what actually builds wealth is what? Asset. What builds wealth is investing, putting it in the right places. That's how you build lasting wealth. All right. I wish I could bring Mr. Gregory up. I have tried. I don't know what's going on. And any question before we wrap up? Any question. Thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. So if you are meeting me for the first time, I'm Dr. Lina. I'm a doctor of business and technology. I'm not a doctor of medicine. That's because I do not like blood. Right? So, and I manage and own multiple double-digit real estate portfolio. So I do teach people. I'm a wealth coach. I tell you how to build wealth, especially professionals, okay? Because it starts with something, right? It starts with your income, right? That is what I teach. My goal is for us to have a millionaire community in 10 years. Okay, if you follow this principle step by step, you would realize that you will become a millionaire in 10 years. And that's what we're building. Why am I doing this? What is my why? My why is the fact that the more we have, the less the poverty, the less the crime, and then we have better love, better society. Okay, that's giving my own in a little way. I would like to know what is everyone hesitation to seek well. Okay, what's everyone who wants to come? Anybody that wants to come up? What is your reason? What is your reason why you do not want to build wealth? And I really don't know. What's your hesitation? Right? Why you don't want to build wealth? What's your hesitation? Is it because of religion? Some people feel that making money is evil, or making money, being wealthy makes you bad. Some people feel that way, like making money makes you bad, or you don't believe in God anymore. But wealth is also going to help you build, you know, um, be able to give to more people, right? If I'm not in a good place, I cannot be teaching for 2 hours and let people, I'm already thinking of work tomorrow and I have a very terrible boss. But let's put it to the floor. Why does anyone have, first of all, does anybody have hesitation to build wealth? Is anybody, does anybody have any hesitation to seek wealth? Right? Does anyone? Mabel, Darlington, Mimoy, Ayo. Hey Ayo, welcome to this community. Thank you for joining the community. So anybody has a reason why they don't want to build wealth, or they have an hesitation. We are a we're a strong people, and when we set out our minds, when we set up our minds, when we set up our minds to accomplish, we set up our minds. Oh gosh, I can't say it. When we set up our minds to accomplish something, there shouldn't be anything that stops us. Yeah, absolutely. There shouldn't be anything that stops us. That's the way. That's it. And Mabel says, I don't think it's why. I think it's how. Many don't know. And that's the truth. You are so spot on, really. Many, and that's why I always say that I don't judge people. I don't say that, oh, you know what, you are 50, but I don't judge people that, oh, you know what, your children, they took a student loan. Why? I just want to understand. So why? Because they did not teach us all of these things. And that's part of the reason. That's the why. Like, how? And but Mabel, now do you know how? That's the next question. Do you know how? And this is really valid, valid discussion. Do you know how? And if you want to come up, by the way, if anybody wants to come up, I really wish Mr. Greg can come up. Oh, I really wish. If anybody wants to come up, come send an invite. And we can just do that for the next 7 minutes and wrap up at 11 Central my time. I know it's going to be midnight your time. Anybody wants to come out, just send an invite. I would leave it. Okay, what I would do, I would invite everyone. And if anybody wants to accept, feel free to do that. And we can just have a conversation tonight. You know, yeah. And really, the how is just keep it simple. Do not just start from where you are at. That's it. Just start from where you are. No matter how small, start with $10, start with $5. Just be consistent. Consistency is key. Discipline is key. Right? Discipline is key. Consistency is key. Right? And just start. Don't wait till you have all of the millions or you have thousands. Don't just start. Start with you say I disagree. It has to be time to be a time we stop making excuses. Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. Who wants to come up to talk? Who wants to come up to talk? Oh, you at work. Okay. That's great. That's great. Oh my God, Mr. Gregory. Oh my goodness. You need to fix. Hey, the P5. How are you? How are you? We are wrapping up. You're not late because you're always here, but welcome. And my friend on the YouTube side, thank you for subscribing. Where are you connecting from? Where are you connecting from? And every other person that is here. Yeah. And you, P5, you want to come up, that's okay. As well, we're saying that why the question is for the next 5 minutes, we want to understand. So, why do they not want to build wealth? What is the hesitation of building wealth? And Mr. Gregory is part of the community and is retired. You're at work as well. Ooh, you see this 9 to 5, you see what it's doing. You better make sure and I put the word we better, we better make sure that we are doing whatever money Mabel and the P5 and Mimoy, are you at work too? Right? We better keep that money. We better put that money to work, right? Using it towards asset, right? Put some of it towards our lifestyle, but using it towards asset that is going to return money for us. Okay, we are going to be building wealth because you cannot. I mean, I don't know your time zone, but most importantly, we want to put as much away. Okay, as much away. And Mr. Gregory, we need to fix this. We need to fix this. We need to get you up here. Oh my goodness, we need to get you up here. I don't know. Oh my God, I really wish I could. And I know that you really want to also be able to share so much knowledge, so much wealth, and I know that that's going to be so beneficial. It's going to be beneficial to a lot of us in this community, including myself, because I want to know how what strategies you use yourself, even though you had said that it's similar to what I talk about. But businesses and all of that are things that we need to also. I started many years ago when we did not disabling or knowledge. Okay, I believe the Lord would. Yeah. I know it's just so hard to type and all of that. It's just super hard. It's just super hard. Let me check let me see your profile and just say, uh, not sure why. Okay. Well, we figure it out somehow, someday. We'll figure it out somehow, someday. All right, bye you. Bye.